I talk, you listen, or you turn the channel. Either way, I'm still going to talk. Welcome to another episode of Unfiltered. It's almost the end of April, and man, what a beautiful week we've had. It's been, I think it hit 83 one day here in Keene this past week. We went directly from winter to summer with no spring. Those trees are in shock. Apparently it's too hot for them now. And I started thinking the other day at work, it's a little warm. Ready for winter again. It doesn't take long, though. What else has been going along? Nothing. Nothing this week at all has been happening. I'm so far behind. I saw this news story on Tuesday. Kate Phillips died last Friday at the age of 94. Now, Kate Phillips is the lady that wrote the screenplay for the movie The Blob in 1958. I happened to catch a glimpse of her one day. She was here in the studio talking to Lee. She acted in more than 50 films under the name of Kay Lineker, which was her maiden name. She acted with such people as Ginger Rogers, Vincent Price, and Henry Fonda. She quit acting during World War II and joined the Red Cross, which apparently a lot of people during wartime, big names like that, do that. They quit like Elvis did. Elvis gave up singing and went into the service to serve his country. She taught at a number of local schools. I believe the article in the paper said one of the Peterborough schools and a school in Dublin she taught at. In the early 80s, she taught a screenwriting and acting courses at Keene State in the early 80s. But she was, the Sentinel called her Keene's link to old Hollywood. And she was, back in the good old days, the birth of the talkies and all that, I guess, was. And I believe she's also in a bunch of stuff that the Keene State College students have done. She's been kind enough to lend her acting to some of those short films that they've done. And maybe we can get a little tribute thing on Channel 8 about Kate Phillips. I'll talk to Lee about that. I'm planning a trip. I'm going to take a vacation here at some point within the next 3 or 4 months. I'm going to take my second income tax check, and I'm going to go to Colorado and visit with Mike, Big Mike, our old cameraman, is living out in Colorado. And I'm going to take a trip out, take a camera with me. I plan to go to Taos, New Mexico, and see if I can get a look at some of these Earth ships that this guy's building out there, and stop along the way and do little reports from wherever I am. I could do the best truck stop. I know where all those are. This weekend, Monadnock Speedway opens up Saturday night. They've got a full card, I guess, 100-lap modified event, enduros, street stocks. I don't know what all the classes that they run down there. They change them every few years. But they're running enduros, I guess, now every single week down there. And back when the enduro started, it was once a month they'd run them to give poor schleps like me a chance to buy a crap car and strip it out and haul it down there and race it, But those are great. That's 100 laps, no yellow flags. The only time they throw a red flag is when something extremely dangerous is happening on the track. Otherwise, if you spin around and you get stuck in the middle of the track, well, you just hope that everybody makes it around you.
They've got a lot of
Not a
rules for
chance.
those cars now. They got to have a roll cage. You got to have the bumpers chained on and the doors welded closed.
Now they do. It used to be the bigger cars.
And all kinds of stuff in them.
It used to be the bigger cars you needed roll cages in. They had certain wheelbases that you had to put a roll cage in them. And because I raced 3 races in the Enduros down there back in the mid 80s. I raced in the very first 4-cylinder Enduro. I made 68 laps and the motor blew up. So, I don't know. I didn't have much luck, but it was fun just to get out there and feel what it's like. And there's no feeling like going into those corners, as banked as they are at Monadnock at 55, 60 miles an hour. And you can see that centrifugal force and all the different forces on the car, no matter how much you turn the wheel, you're not turning. You're going too fast and the car just refuses. And
that would be inertia, Rick. Inertia.
Oh yeah, inertia. That's right. Centrifugal force is when you're in the spin and you're getting thrown all over the place. Thanks, Bruce. See, if we had Eric around, our old physics major, I would have known that. But, all right. Other things we've got coming up. I'll say this now and then I'll say it again later in the show. Thursday, May 29th, right here. Actually, we're going to do it in the same room that we filmed the first studio audience show in. We're going to film another one. Thursday, May 29th. The doors are going to open at 6:30, and we're actually going to film between 8 and 9 on that night. That'll give people a chance to get out that maybe couldn't make it last time because it was too early. So, and everybody's agreed that 8 to 9 is cool. So, and I'm working on like door prizes and maybe some giveaways and all kinds of some really fun stuff. So, maybe, who knows who's going to pop in for special guests. You never know. Some of the other stars from Cheshire TV may just pop in. You know, I'd like to have somebody good, but it'll probably be Chris or Randy or somebody like that, you know.
They're going to like you on that one.
I mean, I don't think we can get Lee to stick around that late. If I could get in touch with Scarewolf, I'd like to get an appearance by Scarewolf. But anyway, that's going to happen May 29th. But closer. Yeah, we can show the email. Yeah, anytime. Seeing as how it's working tonight, huh? And
well, that way folks can email you for tickets.
yeah, and like I said, I've got the design. We've got the design done. It's just a matter of printing them up and figuring out where we're going to give them. But I'll be handing out tickets, and there will be a special set of tickets, the front row set of tickets, that I will reserve for people who email me and want special gold tickets. Yeah. They'll entitle you to a whole bunch of extra stuff that the regular ticket holders don't get. I don't know. A front row seat, and maybe you know, they'll get to look at the control booth or something. We'll let them. We'll let them do something. We'll have some kind of special. Maybe they'll get a free glass of soda or something. I don't know. A week from Saturday, a week from tomorrow, Saturday, May 3rd, is Safety Day and the Law Enforcement Expo at the National Grange parking lot on Gilboa Avenue, School Street. It's between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. I talked about it last week. They're going to have all kinds of demonstrations and the demonstrations of the K-9 units. I don't know whether they're going to have them demonstrate how they sniff out drugs hidden in a car, or if they're going to have them demonstrate how they can take a guy down and chew him up. That's what I want to see. I want to see him put the guy in the suit, make him run away from the dogs, and let the dogs kill him. Well, not kill him, but, you know, get him. Speaking of killing, all the news people are talking about the killing in Pennsylvania there at the primaries this week, because apparently the white lady killed the black guy. And that's exactly the way the news people are covering it. They're talking about killing blows and slaughterings, and it's, you know, this is a presidential election, not WWE. I hate to say it, but you know, one of the newscasters I saw said, yeah, we thought that this would have been the killing blow here in Pennsylvania. We thought it would have been the killing blow. I mean, that's not how you talk about something positive like the presidential election. You know, there shouldn't be any violent words in there, and you'd think that these news people would look at the stuff that they write. The reason that stuff sounds like crap coming out of my mouth is because I don't write anything I say down and practice it. I just say it as it spins around and spits out. But anyway, Saturday, May 3rd, I just had to throw that whole violence thing in because I don't get it. The media is stirring it all up. What else is going on May 3rd? The bomb squad. New Hampshire State Police bomb squad's going to be there, demonstrating their bomb diffusing robot. So I'm getting all my bombs together. I'm going to take them down. Child fingerprinting. If you want to have your kids fingerprinted, do that. Child safety seat checkpoint. The New Hampshire liquor enforcement's going to have the fatal vision goggles down there and the little drive-in thing, so you know what it's like to drive drunk. Chances are most everybody knows what it's like to drive drunk. We don't really need those. What they need to do is they need to bring a totaled car down there that still has body parts and guts and stuff hanging in it, and say, this car was operated by a drunk driver. You don't need to see what it's like to drive drunk. You have to see what is going to happen if you drive drunk. And that's what's going to happen. Going to leave awful stains on the highways. The 18-wheeler blind spot demonstration, which is very interesting. And you would be surprised that when I was driving truck, and you tell people about blind spots, and they don't understand. And there is a way that you can park a tractor trailer, and you can park, I think the demonstration I saw had 3 cars parked around this trailer. And you got in, and you looked in the mirrors, you craned your neck as far as you could and could see nothing. And these cars were close. And it would be easy just to run them over. And as I said, people don't think about that when they're driving around trucks. Driving with a whole group of trucks is the safest thing in the world if the truck drivers know where you are, because they are professional drivers. They know exactly what's going on the road. They know one of the tests we used to have a little card about how to know when you're fatigued and too fatigued to drive. And it gave a list of little things. If you couldn't remember the last mile marker you went by, you were maybe too tired to drive. If you couldn't remember what color the last car that passed you was. You know, just little things like that. Things that when your mind starts wandering, professional truck drivers notice little things like that. You know, they notice when, you know, wow, I just passed exit 40. I don't remember going by 39. You know, maybe you're too tired. But, yeah, it's a lot of stuff for the kids, bicycle safety checks and everything, but it'll be a good thing, showcasing all the local police, state police, and all the various safety services that are around. All right. I think I've worked my way right up to crew call. Not bad for not having a thing prepared, huh? Oh, Rob's got to get set up on crew call. All right. But, I didn't give you the card tonight, did I, Bruce? I'm sorry. I'm trying to do the same thing every week. 10 past.
Okay. Well, it's nice if we have some clue as far as
I
what
know.
your order is.
I said
going
tonight
to
was
be,
been.
but I know you're just winging it.
Tarzan walked in. He said he couldn't even remember it was Thursday. He didn't even remember it was Thursday.
I'm glad it finally dawned on him and he showed up.
Yeah. But on camera one, we've got Rob
No BR
back
this
as
week.
usual.
Sorry.
No,
No BR this week.
that's all right. That's all right. Would you have lifting today?
No.
Oh, that's right. You're on
No, I'm
school vacation.
Yeah.
So Dad's probably got you working at home,
Yeah.
yard work and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. Camera one, we've got Greg. Camera three. So I see. I don't even know what the hell camera we got going. And in the booth, he's tucked right behind all the monitors. In the booth is Bruce and Andrea.
What's happening out there, Rick?
Ooh, yahoo!
Having all kinds of fun tonight.
I'm just, yeah. I figured, I don't know what I'm going to talk about the rest of the night, but
We're just kind of winging it. There's not a whole lot that went on this past week for NASCAR, so there's very little to report, but Andrea will give you what she's got. Hopefully she doesn't croak her way through it. She can actually speak. We'll see. Boy, what a hectic day for me. The machine just was giving me a hard time at every turn today. And I got out of bed on the wrong side and never did find where I was going. So it's been one of those days.
yeah.
So hopefully we don't screw up too many things in here tonight. We already luminesced over the top of Rob to bring him up, so that was a pretty interesting shot.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
No,
Oh,
you didn't notice it, but I did.
That's cool. All right. All right.
But other than that, the week's been going pretty good. Beautiful weather. Oh, man, we're loving this weather.
Yeah.
Got the windows open in the house and airing things out. The cats are right up there sniffing outside, loving it.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And even the evenings have been nice.
Yes.
T-shirt weather.
For some of us.
But
I wear long sleeves year round, so.
yeah, well, just remember it's still April in New England. We could get 1.5 feet of snow in a week and a half.
Oh, my word. Bite your tongue.
May 10th, it could snow.
Am I up now? Okay.
Yeah, you can be up.
All right, I'm going to try this. I don't know how well we're going to be doing. If I start croaking, Bruce gets it again. There really wasn't any cup race last week, so there's nothing to report there. However, the Nationwide Series ran down in Mexico, which is always a good race, and the opening ceremonies that the Mexicans have down there at Mexico City are just wonderful. I really enjoy watching them, more so than I do those that we have here in the States. They know how to put on a good show. Kyle Busch ended up winning that race, which put him now for 3 of the nationwide races in a row, and he's just a handful of drivers that have ever done 3 in a row. So that, that's an accomplishment. I mean, I don't like the little skunk, but, still, you have to give him credit. He is a good driver. But anyways, the Cup and the Nationwide cars will be racing at Talladega this week, and that's a real good one. And for those of y'all that get in a pool and you get to pick drivers, if you get any one of the Hendrick cars, the Childress cars, any one of them, they're so good at the restrictor plate tracks. So you got a real assortment of drivers. Gibbs in his cars, Kyle Petty, if he gets into the race, he's missed the last 3 in a row, so hopefully he can qualify in. But you've got a lot of options for picks this week. Of course, those of us that are just going to stick with our guys, we know that Martin Truex Jr. is going to win this week. At least that's the way I look at it. But anyways, the Craftsman Truck Series is going to end up in Kansas. So that's the only one that's going to be away from the Talladega track. The only other piece of news is Danica Patrick, a young woman in the Indy Series, won her very first race, and that was just absolutely awesome. She's been working really hard at it, and most of the, pardon me? Yeah, Bruce said he thinks it's her third season. And most of the newscasters all said the same thing, that she is absolutely the best female driver that they have ever seen.
She's not too bad to look at either.
No, she is very, very pretty. She's a very pretty girl. She's a little small thing. I don't know how the devil she handles those cars, but she did an awesome job. But anyways, that's as much as I can I can give you this week.
All right. Thanks, Andrea.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
All right. And I believe Danica Patrick was also in Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue this year. And she said it was great, and she would do it again in a heartbeat. But now that she's a winning IndyCar driver, I bet she gets a call from Hef to be in Playboy, if she hasn't already got the offer to be in Playboy. But yeah. All right. Let me tell you this little story that I saw I thought was kind of funny. It was about a construction worker that lost a lawsuit in New York. And he, oh, okay, sorry. So this construction worker had filed a lawsuit against a hospital for giving him a rectal exam without his permission. Apparently, he was involved in a workplace accident where something fell on his head. And he went to the hospital, and they stitched up his head and then told him they had to give him a rectal exam. And he said, that would be nice, but no thank you. And when they insisted, and he insisted, no thank you, at which point they held him down and administered a very heavy sedative and gave him the rectal exam. Yeah. So you're a construction worker, you want to wear your hard hat and avoid, if you get something dropped on your head, stitch it up yourself, maybe. Apparently the hospital was found that they did nothing wrong. So apparently when you need them, you need them.
I'll tell you what, Rick, when I was working at the nursing home, if we had a patient that absolutely refused something, we could not administer it because it was just not allowed. It was against, I don't want to say the law, but policy, medical law, whatever.
Yeah.
How the heck can you fall on your head and get your butt checked?
I know, yeah. Well, we got to look at your rectum because you got
That's
hit in the
pretty
head.
bad.
Yeah, I would change doctors.
Oh, I was going to say in a heartbeat, but probably more like in an ass beat.
Yeah, way faster. Yeah.
You probably get to charge more for the rectal exam than it is for stitches, so, to get one in for the HMO.
Probably, and it was something about, I just kind of skimmed over the article, but it was something about spinal cord injuries that they couldn't tell, whether he had spinal cord injuries unless they did the rectal exam or something. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, you hit your head. They didn't give you one? Sorry. I would write a letter of complaint now. Sorry. Well, I think we're set up in the bunker. So let's take it on down as out of Tarzan.
Hey, Rick, how the hell are you, Rick? Can you hear me tonight?
I can hear you good, buddy. How's it going, man?
That sounds good. It's going okay, Rick. I got a sorry number. I'm not going to expose on it too much. I don't even know if that's the right stinking word. 4,047 of our sisters and brothers have died in this holy war as of this week. And what else can I say besides that? Bless you families that have lost your loved ones in this holy war. And the sooner the better we get out of there. What can you do?
Yeah, exactly.
President Bush is going to veto a new version of the GI Bill, which is a bunch of crap. because it needs to be revised from what it was, from what it is, how it changed after World War II into the GI Bill it is now is just a plain joke. And there's no urging, there's no begging on this show here, because it's not going to happen in our favor. So whatever, Mr. President Bush, you do is what you do. You know, Rick, this week's Stop the Madness goes to everybody out there who doesn't know what illegal burn means, okay? Now, if I remember right, Smokey Bear said only you can prevent forest fires. Now, one thing we don't need, ladies and gentlemen, is you burning your cardboard or your stinking leaves and causing our fire people to run out there and get injured, as in today's headlines in the Sentinel. 2 people got injured putting out a freaking brush fire. It could have been a cigarette. It could have been an illegal burn. Any of these stupid things.
Yep.
Now, you don't throw your cigarettes out the window to begin with. You put them out in your ashtray, you put them out in your freaking hand, or whatever. And you will get a ticket for it, believe me. The Keene PD will give you a ticket for that. I don't know what the price is, but if you feel like finding out, just flick your butt out the window. Gosh, you know?
Yeah.
And then another this week's Stop the Madness, Rick, is that headline in the paper about the duo who went over the falls. Should have read, idiot college students attempted near fatal death. That
Yeah.
was the stupidest move they could have made. And it's pretty bad when your own mother beaches you out in the newspaper saying, yeah, he's always doing something stupid. You know, he's not even from around here, and his mother's in the paper beaching him out.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
well, I
Stop
thought-
the madness. Go back to college, learn your ABCs and whatever. Stay away from the falls. They threw the dummy in the falls, and even the dummy didn't make it. So you're not going to make it if you're a college-educated person either. It's not going to get you over the falls and buy them.
no, you're going to need a
degree.
you're going to need a way bigger boat than what they used.
A bigger boat. There you go. A bigger boat, or more people and more freaking rafts tied together or something. I don't know what it takes. You know, I don't know if anybody was listening yesterday to KBK, but Danny Mitchell had a very nice interview with a gentleman who's 60 years old who suffers from glaucoma. And he explained his whole fate on the radio, and I thought Danny Mitchell did a really stand-up job in respecting this guy's story. And, you know, I don't know if he'll ever hear this or see this, but thank you, Danny, for being cordial to that older gentleman. And I thought he really put his heart out there on the radio. And he answered a lot of questions that a lot of people would probably shied away from. And it's a debilitating disease, and he explained to us listeners what he goes through on a daily basis. And he explained that all he needed was a couple of tokes, and the pressure in his eyes goes right down.
Yep.
And his own doctor said, do what you got to do. Get it where you got to get it, because I can't help you. This is a law that's got to be reformed. We got to do something about this. It's not like this guy's walking around baked all freaking day. He says he gets out of work, he goes home, hits a toke or two, and gets the pressure out of his freaking eyes.
Yep.
It's not about what he needs to do to get a good party on.
Yeah, no, and it's the same argument as a lot of the chemotherapy people that have to undergo chemotherapy and radiation treatments. They go through the same thing. Yeah.
Exactly. It's debilitating. Their appetite decreases. I'm sure that there's people that you have viewers that are suffering right at this moment. And we really need to help these folks out. They're part of the community just like the rest of us. As long as we obey the laws, we're all good citizens. That's all that matters.
That's it.
And what they have to do to get an appetite for themselves or take the pressure off their eyes or whatever, it's going to work for them. You know, Rick, I think I've said enough tonight. I wish I could give you some more stories, but I don't have any. And with that, Tarzan's out of here.
Peace, brother. All right. Yeah, it's I read that story about the college guys going over the falls in the kiddie pool. And of course I went nuts. I thought it was great. I said, I've got the next thing I'm going to talk about on my show for next week. I said, I'm going to talk about these two idiots who, chances are, probably stole the kiddie pool to go over the falls in. I believe it was Monday. I went to work Monday night. And I grabbed one of the other college kid drivers that I've got. And I was telling him, I said, man, I got the best story for the show this week. I'm going to talk about these retards that went over the falls. And at that minute, one of the cooks comes around the corner, one of the new cooks we got at Athens. And he says, that was me and my friends. Yeah. So that just made it even better. Now I went, now I can talk about these guys, not just for the simple fact of being stupid enough to go over the falls or try to go over the falls, but being stupid enough to admit that it was him. Yeah, that was me. Perfect. I just want to tell anybody, if you get any harebrained ideas like that anymore, any of you, email me at headforlaughs@hotmail.com, and I'll bring a camera down because I would love to get some great footage for the show. Every little funny clip I get for the show is a couple minutes. I don't have to think of something to say. Was that a weird look? Oh, okay. I thought you looked at me real weird. Yes, speaking of clips, thank you, Andrea, for reminding me. I don't have a card written down out here either. Just going by the skin of our teeth. But right on time, because right about 8:30 is the time. In case anyone has to get another beer or take your head away from your eyes away from the TV.
Actually, 6:30 on Friday.
6:30 on Friday, that's right. If anybody has to take their eyes away from the TV to roll a quick one or whatever, bathroom break, here's our musical interlude. What do we got? 4 minutes tonight.
I into sneaky eyes, I ain't into your friends. I ain't into fake and smile.
Soup Bone Throne. That's the name of that band from California, Long Beach, California, I believe they came from. Great band. I have to say, happy birthday to a couple of people. Tom, who works at 7-Eleven. Happy birthday to him. I believe he said he turned 60 this week. And happy birthday to Donna. You know who you are, Donna. I heard Donna had just had another operation, Andrea. And yeah, I'm not sure what. I'm gonna go visit her tomorrow morning and see what's going on. But hopefully we'll see her. She was one of the 5 women that came to the show, the live audience show, back 27 episodes ago, it was. So those are some birthdays this week. I thought, wasn't there another one? Andrea, you got birthdays in your family this week that you would? All right. Also, I want to say hi to the gang up on George Street that I delivered to the other night. That
Birthdays and
out.
weddings and all kinds of stuff going on in my family.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, just tons.
And you're getting ready to go down south, what, in 2 weeks?
Actually, we'll be leaving on wee hours of the morning on the 2nd. So,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just a
Just
couple
1 week
weeks.
away.
Yep. Wow.
yeah, Tommy is taking the big step.
Great. He's the last one, right?
Oh, yes, thank
Nice.
God.
All right. The guys up on George Street I delivered to on Sunday night. I have to say hi to them because they thought they'd seen me on TV. I told them at first it was my twin brother, but then they figured out it was really me. But they were celebrating the holiday on Sunday, which was 420. And a lot of people don't know what 420 is, really. It's a discrete way that the pot subculture references smoking pot. You'll see, when I was on the road, I used to see stickers on cars that looked like a little interstate sign, and they said Interstate 420 on them. And it's hard to look at this camera, Bruce, because my chair is weird. But I'm kind of in an awkward spot in
So
these
hard to
panels.
find good talent nowadays.
I know. Anyway, a lot of times phrases such as 420 friendly, you'll see in roommate ads. You know, people looking for roommates and stuff. Put 420 friendly. And the day thing, 420 as a date, pretty much coincided with Earth Day. And all the potheads said, you know, well, 420, Earth Day, you know, it can just be Cannabis Day. And in 2006, Method Man named his album 421 the day after, in which he referenced the National Weed Smoking Day is 420. But apparently in 1971, a group of teenagers from San Rafael High School out in California, San Rafael, California, would meet at 4:20 in the afternoon and smoke pot. And they would smoke pot at the Louis Pasteur statue in San Rafael. The group was known as the Waldos because they would sit on the wall and smoke pot. And they became popularized in the late 80s by fans of the Grateful Dead. Many American cannabis users continue to observe 420 as a time to smoke communally. And by extension, 420, the dating, has evolved into a counterculture holiday. And it coincides with Earth Week. So yeah, if any of you celebrated on 420, congratulations. Everybody was. Every place I went that night, as soon as you walked in, I was like, whew, nice. What else did I want to do? I did the 420 thing. There was some other stupid crap I was going to talk about. What I've been trying to do is I've been trying to work out all the logistics for the live audience show. And I'm going nuts. I drove right by a delivery last night because I'm thinking about something having to do with a live show, and all of a sudden I went, whoa, I was supposed to turn there. Yeah. What else? Truck driver. I delivered to a truck driver last night, way out at that little rest area on the way to Troy. Truck driver had delivered it Harley Davidson and then went back there to sleep for the night. And he said he had to come in to hit Route 101 to go to Manchester in the morning. Well, they charge him $3 delivery charge. And I told him, if next time you come through, if you go down to the intersection of 101, there's a parking lot right there by the old Bergevins that you can fit a truck into. I said it would have saved you $250 in delivery charges. But he didn't seem to mind. He said, thank God I found somebody to deliver out here. I thought I was going to get stuck with potato chips, stale water, and 2-day-old Mountain Dew. And yeah, truckers usually carry everything they need. But you do have times when you start running low, and if there's nothing around, you suffer. It's bad. Let's get back to the Pennsylvania primary. It's again, the white lady beat the black guy. Unbelievable. And it was supposed to be, I thought at first it was supposed to be a huge Obama blowout, and Hillary was behind, and then it got close, and then it was, well, if she doesn't win by 9% or something, then she's out of it. She ain't got a chance. All the numbers came in, and damn it, she won by 9.3. And I'm telling you, I don't know who's making up these numbers, but it's this far apart, it's this close. It's this far apart, it's this close. Let's have some more nasty speak about each other for another month. It's getting, the government is way too powerful for itself. Jon Stewart the other night was showing clips of all the news people and the fact that they were using all these very violent phrases in talking about this election process. And then he showed a clip of Hillary talking about, from like a year ago, talking about how, well, the voters will decide, and it's all the voters, and the voters are the important thing, and it's all the voters. And then he turns around and shows a clip from like yesterday of her going, well, it's not really about the voters. The voters don't really know us as politicians. They just see what they see on TV and hear what they hear in our speeches, but it's the super delegates that matter. So it's government people. It's not the people. At first, it was all about the voters. The election process, governmental process is all about the voters. And now when it gets down to this close, it's not about the voters anymore. You people that cast your ballots don't mean squat, is what they're saying. It comes down to the 8 friggin' superdelegates, or however many they are, 52 of them, or 6 of them, or 20 of them, however many, and it comes down to them. The old Washington stuffed shirts. And that's what it's going to come down to. Somebody made a remark that Hillary would have already won if they had the same rules as the Republicans. Which apparently, if Hillary and Barack were Republicans, she would have won or something. I don't know. It's weird. What else? Nothing's going on. The news pit's dried up. I haven't seen anything about the girls in Florida for the past week. Apparently that's been hushed right up, taken right off all the news. The Marine that they're extraditing from Mexico, that, haven't heard anything about him lately. That's just disappeared off the radar. I mean, and I don't know, nothing's taken its place. There's been, I don't know, it's just a slow news week. Everybody's been so focused on Pennsylvania and the whole election and who's saying what about who, and I don't know. We have to start looking into different options as far as how we choose our leaders. And I'm sure we shouldn't do it the American Idol way, because I mean, America can't even pick talent. We shouldn't be able to pick a president, you know?
I think that was exactly Hillary's point.
Well, I mean, it could be. But yeah, and I mean, she had the point. What the hell does America know, the public know about Hillary? Just what we've seen, we've read, and what somebody's written down for her to say. Because, you know, not a single word that's come out of her mouth has been any of her own thoughts. Presidential candidates have speech writers. And the president doesn't open his mouth unless he's got the script in front of him, or her, whatever the case may be. But yeah, and there's no room for political correctness. The president is the president. President should be above being demeaned by name calling. If you're gonna, I don't know. And that's what bugs me about McCain is if somebody calls the United States a bad country, he'll attack them. I think that's the way it'll be. What else has dropped off the news charts? Everything. I've been watching Burn Notice constantly. They've showed the first episode like 50 times in the last week, and I've caught it every time. I watch that more than I watch my own show. Because, I mean, the guy's a good actor. And the son, what's he saying? Is he talking?
Yeah, he's saying you should have spent more time on the show.
On this show? Yeah, but there was nothing to work on for this show, Bruce. It's been so slow, nothing funny to talk about.
They sold the David Ortiz jersey today. That one they buried underneath Yankee Stadium.
Oh, did I ever even talk about that?
No, I guess not.
Yeah, because I noticed the day after they dug that jersey up out of the new Yankee Stadium, he started hitting again.
Yeah.
He was in a slump while the jersey was buried.
So he's got 16 RBIs his last 9 games. So they found it. So.
Yeah. Apparently a construction worker that was a Boston Red Sox fan thought that he would they were pouring concrete in the new Yankee Stadium, and they thought he would curse the new stadium by putting a David Ortiz jersey in the concrete. I don't know. They'll probably find Jimmy Hoffa when they tear down the old Yankee Stadium. That's oh, he's a Giant. They say he's a Giant Stadium, but they've already dug Giant Stadium, I think, and checked.
Yeah, probably a while ago.
But it's the same thing with Al Capone's tomb, Geraldo.
Yankee Stadium was built way before Hoffa disappeared.
Oh, that's right. It was. Probably find some old whiskey bottles underneath the dugout from Babe Ruth or something. Yeah. But that's a shame that that's going to be torn down after all these years. Another thing I heard, some company I can't remember the name of the thing, but it's going to be a bar and grill. The entrance is going to be on Lansdowne Street. And when you walk in, one entire wall of the bar faces into Fenway Park. So you'll be able to stand in the bar and see Fenway Park from the center fielder's viewpoint. So that should be I bet that'll be a very popular place. They say Green Monster tickets are very popular. And a couple radio, I think the radio station here in Keene's doing a giveaway for tickets or something. But the Sox are doing all right this year, I guess.
15-9.
I don't really follow a lot of baseball.
Yeah, they've lost their last two.
But did they lose
No,
Thursday?
Yeah, they lost today, 7-5. Yeah.
Okay.
The bullpen blew it.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
Yeah.
And Manny, I guess, is on
Manny.
a streak.
Manny.
He's looking for. I guess he's pushing 500 on the home run list, and he's
497.
looking forward to 600, talking about another 6 years. So I mean, but he's still a kid.
33.
You know, well, 33. So you figure 6 years. He's 39 years old,
He's in his prime right now.
and he's going to retire with a buttload of money. You know?
Yeah.
And then go on to do whatever he wants to do later in life. And he'll have billions by that time. And I don't know. All right. There was other stuff I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember what it was. That's all right. I was going to rag on the internet was one of the things I was going to talk about. But I don't know. How about some fears? Oh, never mind. I can't read half of them. That's stupid. Amphibious is based on Greek words that mean living a double life. Because amphibians live on land and in water. It's a bit of useless information, but considering that half the people can't spell or know the right words. Like Bruce, I wish I could make a copy of that thing you showed me today to read and show it as a graphic. But it took me 15 minutes to read it. I couldn't sit here for 15 minutes and show a graphic and let people at home read it. But it alluded to the fact that it was a paragraph saying that I'm really surprised that you can read this, but actually a lot of people can read this, even though all the words were all in the right places, but all the letters and all the words were jumbled. Except the first and last letter. And it was proving the point that that people don't actually read all the words. And it was really cool. All right. The words assassination and bump were invented by Shakespeare. Bump. I think it was one of them romantic ones. He alluded to, I think that the line was something about thou art bumping uglies or something. I'm not sure. The word curfew originates from an old French word that means cover fire. I bet you didn't know that. Corduroy comes from the French corduroy, or cloth of the king. Yep. Of course, when I was in high school, corduroy meant cloth of the loser, the geek, or, the nerd, because the cool guys wore jeans. All right. Mafia is an acronym for Morte alla Francia Italia Anella, or death to the French is Italy's cry. Mothers were originally named Mama or Mommy in many languages because they have mammary glands. And that's the reason. Influenza got its name from the fact that people believed the disease was because of the evil influence of stars. Yeah. A horologist measures time. What's this one? A librocubicularist is somebody that reads in bed. I would just call him somebody that reads in bed. Killing a king is called regicide. I would have thought that meant killing Regis. Yeah, I better not make fun of him. The word samba means to rub navels together, touching bellies. So if you want to do the samba. A necropsy. Anybody know what a necropsy is? It's an autopsy on animals. Yep. It's a horrible thing when animals attack animals. Dendrology is the study of trees. Dibble. I've heard of dabble, but dibble means to drink like a duck. Yeah. Alma mater? Alma mater? Is that how you say it? The school thing. It means bountiful mother. Yeah. Kimosabi means soggy shrub in Navajo. Yeah. Koala is Aboriginal for no drink. And lead poisoning is known as plumism. All right. That's it. That's enough of those. I forgot to call Chris or Randy, so I don't know what's coming up on No Spin next, but I'm sure they'll be following right behind me and talking about something. Chris still has his lights on, his Christmas lights on, and that's all right, but I went by the other day and they were on during the day. Think about it, Chris. You don't have special light bulbs. I want to thank my crew, thank Mom's Tattoo, Gemini Screen Print, Cheshire TV. Till next week, peace.